Hey guys, my name's Ali and I am a data analyst manager working in Oslo, Norway. This is the fourth video in my series on how to create a data analyst portfolio from scratch. In this video, we're going to look at how you can get data into Power BI to create a data model and then make some dashboards. We will start off by importing the tables that we cleansed and transformed in the previous video. We will get that into Power BI and create a data model. From there, we will make the main dashboard and then I will add some additional pages so that we can fulfill all of the requirements that we have defined in our user stories. So this is the dashboard that we are going to create. I have a sales overview, I have customer details, and I have some product details. And this is what we are going to create based on the user stories that were defined earlier. We need something that gives an overview, something that shows something over time, and 2 pages that will give the end user the possibility to filter on customer and also on products. So we're gonna start off. I've made a, this is the finished version and I'm going to start off with a blank version. And the first thing we have to do is we have to get the data into Power BI. So we will go to get data and then I remember that it is some CSV files. So I'm gonna go to the create, let me see, I need to go to where I store the CSV files so that it's there. And then I'm just gonna import them one by one. So I'll go calendar. Let's just get them all in, load. And you'll see that when I do this, I will start to get some tables on the right side. But we will actually go into the transform data. It's a little bit easier to look at things here. And this is Power Query. And I'm not going to go that much into details with all the different parts in this video, but I will maybe in a later video we can go more into Power Query. But if we go, like I said, recent sources, and then we got CSV. I want the customers. Okay. We got products. So you can see I'm just importing one CSV at a time. The CSV that we got from our previous video where we cleaned and created all these tables. So now we have some different tables. It has already picked up on what the different types are, and I will have a look at those, but it looks good for so far. I'm just going to create some groups. We're going to call them dim tables, or we can just write dimensions, and then fact tables. We just call facts. Then I'll drag those into dimensions. Once again, it's just being nice and tidy in case you have to show this to someone, and that's a little bit up to you if you decide to showcase this part or not. Let's just figure out which ones are the facts. So I'll put you there. We got products, customers, and calendar. And you want to make sure that you can see the columns here on top, that they look correct. So you can see the date has gotten a date, the date key, fair enough. These are text, you can see it based on what they're categorized as here. So when you pull something into Power BI, you have to make sure that it gets the right format, because it's going to matter when we start to create measures, start to create calculations. Customers, first name, last name, these are text, that looks good. Date, customer city. I'm going to make that into a geographical column. I'll do that later. Products, looks good. Excuse me. We have texts, yes, because it's attributes. So these are all text. Product code is also, yep, looks good. Fact, internet sales. These are keys, looks fine. Sales, order number, sales amount is a decimal. So that's fine, that is something we can sum, so that looks good. I'm gonna close and apply. Let's see how this goes when I load this into the model. So there you can see now on the right side we have started to get some different tables. We have all the tables that we previously got into Power BI. So you can see that the date tables now have a date icon. That's good. Let's look at the actual date model. So you can see that the model actually hasn't connected properly. And I also remember that now that I need to get into fact budgets. So we'll do that next. But if I delete these relations, you always want to be explicit, so you want to make sure that you're the one creating the connections. So I'm going to take customer key, drag it to customer key. We will take product key, we will drag that to product key. we'll take date, and we have order date key. Which date are we gonna use? I will use the order date. So date key goes to order date. So now we have these are connected. So this is what is going to be our data model. And then I need to get one more file, which I need to go back into transform data. And then I will get I remember the Excel file, which is the budgets. So let's see what that looks like when we get that in here. Date, budget, okay. So let's just make sure it's a date, that's fine. Budget should be a whole, I guess it's fine, it is a whole number, so that's fine. And I will rename this to backed budget. Close and apply. It should pop up here. There we go. Then we have the date. We need to connect the date to the date. And we're gonna make sure that it's you can see now that it's creating a by. Actually, let me do this. If I do it the other way, I think it's gonna be the right type of relationship. Right now it's going both ways, 1 to 1. It should only go one way. I believe it'll be, it's the other way. Many to 1. Let's see here. That's the right way. There we are. So you can see all the dimension tables are pointing down towards the fact table, which ensures that they are going to be filtered the correct way by the dimensions. So you have to do this, you have to get all your cleansed and transformed tables into Power BI. We could have done it directly from the database also, but I think it's easier to just store it and then do it, or else in case you want to use a different visualization tool, that is also up to you. So now that we have that, we have to start off by creating some calculations, and we're going to use some very simple ones. I'm just going to use some basic sum measurements. So I'm going to go right click and I'll create a new measure, and I'll call it sales, and then just get this right, some sales amounts. So that's going to be our sales, and then we need a budget. So we're going to go right click on the fact budget, and then we're going to go budget equals sum budget. Okay, so we'll just go, there's already a column named budget, so I'll just call it budget amount, and then I want to divide sales by budget amount because I'm going to use that later in a KPI. So I'll just do that by budget amount, then I'll do divide, then I'll go sales. Oh, I'm gonna use the measure. Come on. There we are, sales, comma, budget amounts, and that is going to be a percentage. So I'll make that into a percentage. And before I forget it, I have to make sure that the dim customer city is data category, and I believe if you go city, it'll get a nice globus, which means that we can then later use it in a map, which is also nice. So if I just refer back, let's see what we have here. We have sales overview, we have some filtering on top, we have some filters on the left so that the end user can do that, and then we have some graphs. So I will make the first dashboard with you guys now in the video, and the two last ones I won't recreate in this video, but I will still add the Power BI file, the finished Power BI file on my GitHub, so you can always open it there if you want to go through and you want to see how I did it in Power BI. It's just for inspiration and just to show a little bit of how you create it, but the focus is of course how do we put all this together and create a nice portfolio. But let's create the first page. So I like to start with the top part and just create a nice header on top, and then I like to put the background for the entire page. I like to go on a gray and 50 so I can use the grayness as separator between objects, and then I'll go sales overview. And I always like to kind of make, if you call it the skeleton of the dashboard, which I kind of see as the header and the filters on the left side. And then it's very easy for me to just, when I've done that, it's very easy to reuse it because I can always copy it and then create other pages with the exact same skeleton or starting point when I want to make some other pages. So maybe I'll have some time to show you guys that later. The next thing, we're going to add some filters, so we'll add those there. And a small tip is, if you hold down shift and you press the arrow down, it'll move X amount, I think it's 5 pixels every single time, and it makes it very easy to get like a nice spacing between each object, and it looks really good at the end. So I'm just going to refer back. I have customer city, subcategory, category, and product name. So let's drag those out. So we have customer city, and then I will make that into a drop down. It's good. And I'm going to turn on the search. And I do a lot of small things underways here, which you might not pick up on, but that's not the most important thing. I'm going to make the items 8. I'll still talk you guys through it though. And then we're going to make the like that. So this is good. Now all I have to do is I have to copy this, paste, and I'll make another slicer and I'll put it right under shift down. It jumps down 1. And as you see it here, I need subcategory. So then I can just search for sub, drag it in, and we have a new filter. Then I will copy that, same process. Drag it down, shift down. That was category. And this one, I'm going to name it category. And then copy paste down. We have products. Notice that I like to search for everything that I need on the right side. So there you can see, now I have a kind of a skeleton. I have a header, I have some boxes on the left side which I can use to filter. They're a little bit wide, so I'll make them a little bit smaller. And then I'm going to add some navigation on top. I like to keep the navigation on top. I think it looks really good. I think it's very nice and useful to keep that open. So let's do that. New slicer, and then I will search for year. Let's add that. And this one, I'm going to make it a list, I believe. And then I will make it into a, let me see if I remember, a horizontal list. And then I'll drag it up here. There you go. And it needs about that much space. I'll copy that one, put that right next to the other one. And then I'm going to search for month. I have the short month name. If you remember, we made that in our transformation step. So I'll drag that in now. You can see that it's actually not sorted by the month number. So we can do that too while we are at it. So if you click month, because you want it to go January, February, March, etc., that's what makes the most sense for the end user. So you can click it and then you can go sort by column, and then we will go month no, which stands for month number, which I hope will help. Sort by column, month number, and then should we try it? Not descending, but maybe ascending. That did not work. Oh, it's the wrong column. There we go. Sort by month. No. Yep, there we are. Perfect. And I want to remove that blank from here, so I'll go is not blank. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of small detailed cosmetic stuff. You don't have to do all this. I just think it looks much better. It's not blank. Much nicer. So this is our skeleton. We have our time navigation on top. We have some filters on the left. Now we have to fill out the main part of the dashboard. So let's see. We have some bar charts on the right side. We have a map, pie chart, and a line chart. So let's start off with this KPI. Now this is a KPI that I downloaded. I imported, so dynamic KPI card. So what you can do in Power BI is you can import other elements if you want to. So if you click these 3 dots, then you go get more visuals, and then you can search for it. You want to make sure that you import something that has a blue checker to it, because that means that it is being maintained. It has been improved by Microsoft. They have gone through the code. This looks like a good additional visualization. So we're going to add that. So So that was imported successfully. So let's do that. So I will align it, and then once again shift. Now I'm going to go to the right, and you can see I'm getting these nice gray lines, which kind of becomes a nice grid for my visualizations. And then I will start to drag in some stuff. So I have my fact, I have my internet sales, so I will add sales, and then I will add, let me see if I can remember. I will add the budget amounts. You can see what is the budget amounts. If you go 2020, okay. And then I actually think I need a new measure, which is sales minus the budget. Minus budget, which equals the sales. If you want to, when you start to type something, if you type S, it's gonna find everything on S. If you type, I don't even know what this sign is called. It's not a parentheses. It's like a, I'm not sure what it's called. But then you'll only get the measures because they always start with that. So you can go sales minus budget amounts, which will give us the difference. So that's sales minus budget. Another thing, you know what? I'm just gonna mention it. Yeah, even though this video is maybe getting a little bit too detailed, but I'll still do it. If you go to enter data, we can create something called a measure table. So I'm gonna move all, because now all my measurements, all these calculations with the calculator are being stored in tables. So we can actually create their own table for it. And I usually do this. I wasn't sure if I was gonna do this for this video or not, but let's do it. So let's call it for key measurements, or key measures is a better name. Then I'll go load. And you see what it's going to do, it's going to create a new table, but I'm going to move all those measures into that table, and then it will become a measure table. So I click the measure, and you can see here home table, and then I'm going to move it to key measures. Then we have sales minus budget. We move you to key measures. Same thing, sales divided by amount. And then of course sales. Key measures. Now I have all my measures in one table. Now pay attention. I'm going to delete the column that was created automatically at the beginning. The column 1 gets created automatically. I'm going to delete it. And then when I close the field list and I open it, I have a new table with a calculator icon where all my measures are. It just makes it a lot cleaner, a lot nicer. But once again, it's a detail, but it looks really nice when you present it. And then I'm gonna actually format all of my numbers. So I'll do a divider there, and I'll do whole numbers on all of these because I like whole numbers. Sales minus budget, whole number, and the last one is a percentage. So we'll keep that. So let me drag you down. Let me give you some more space. Okay, so let's just say that's enough. So that's the KPI name, and this first indicator is just going to be, I gotta remember this now. Let me see. The first thing is gonna be the budget amount. I have that, and then I want sales minus budget amount. That's how it was. So if I go June, July, okay. So you can see what's happening. We're getting colors. If it's negative, if I have less sales than my budget amount, then the arrow goes down. If I have more, then the arrow goes up. Positive result. Just a nice thing to show to show how you can use colors to indicate something. Hence the name indicator. So let's remove the title. That's fine. This looks good. Font type. Let's use this one. That looks nice. And the first one, I don't need an arrow on the first one because that's just my budget amount. So I'm not gonna show the arrow. That's fine. And I'll write budget on that, and the second one will actually let's just write bud so it doesn't become and the second, okay. And then where is the frame? The frame is too big, so let's go 5. So that's good. So now if I go to July, the frame becomes red. Oh, the frame did not become red. 1 second, let me see. Frame color is based on comparison number 2. There we are. So June, green, red. Okay. So that, you know, we have something that indicates a change, which is good. So now we have the KPI. Let's move on. Let's make the pie chart. So I'm gonna make that now. So I will create I'm gonna make a donut chart. So product on the legend, Then we will go sales and the values. So that's fine. We'll move that over here, and I can move stuff around later. And I wanted a line chart to do sales over time, actually sales and budget over time. I'm gonna move this one up a little bit. There we are. Let's move that down and just see what everything looks like. Product category, let me just paste that in here. Yep, it looks good. We will do legend. I'm gonna turn the title off and I'll put you on top. And then let's fix some text size, detail labels, all details is fine. None, okay, that looks good. Also the title is a little bit too big, let's fix that. Okay, so that's fine. I had sales and budget by months. Let's go once again. I'll drag in sales on the values. We'll drag in budget amount, and then I need something, you know, we need month to have it throughout the year. So if I remove July, you see that? And now that we have sales throughout the year, let's compare what does it look like. Okay, so this one is more over here actually, so we get more space. And then I believe it looks like this. That's closer. And like that, yeah, that was better. So I'm just gonna go format painter, and if I apply that here, a lot of the formatting that I did up here will get applied here. So that saves you actually quite a lot of time. I don't want the detail label, so I'll take that away. I don't like the name month short, so I'll call it month. You know, I'm just doing some small things that I like to do as I go. Y-axis, I don't need the title on the y-axis. So this looks good. If I want to be even more on it, I can press none, so I get full values. So I do a lot of these small changes as I go. And I think I'm gonna make a series later on how you can create great dashboards. But we'll make some changes now, but I'm not gonna do everything. Bar charts, I need sales by top 10 customers, sales by top 10 products. So I need 2 bar charts, so I'll add those. 1 bar chart is there. And let's put you next to this one, and then I'll move you 1 over, and we can make you there. So now you can see that I'm starting to get these kind of these lines between all of my objects, which kind of becomes the frame for everything else. I'm gonna check one thing. What is the background right now? It is white, right? Yes. So we have sales on this bar chart, values there, and then we can go, I think it's customer, let's go full name. Sales by customer full name, okay. Actually, the easiest thing would just be to copy this one. We can delete the old one. If we paste this, we copy it. So Control C is what I'm using to copy it so quickly. And then I'll line it back up, move it over. So now you have the exact same graph. You just have to replace customer with product. So product name, and we're gonna go like that. So that's fine. And then once again, I can click this one now, Format Painter. I can paint on that one. You see, I'm just passing the formatting on. Makes it a lot easier to work through this. Now on these ones, I don't mind a detail label, and I like to keep it this. I like to keep them horizontal. It's much easier to read the labels then. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll paint you on there. So get the labels. Okay, good stuff. And then we have the map. You can drag that out. If you guys remember, customer city. That's the location. So you can see that they actually have sales all over the world in the data sets, which I actually weren't aware of. So here it's a little bit up to you. If you want to focus on the US, then you can zoom in on the US, and you can go here, and you can go to, where is it? Is it map controls? Auto zoom off, and then it'll stay on the US. It's a little bit weird to have it all the way out. Hey, if you're in Europe and you want to focus on Europe, you can zoom in on Europe, and it'll stay here. Remember that this is just to show that you know how to use a map. It doesn't really matter. So we'll stay on Europe for now. Why not? So you say I took this one, format painter, fix the formatting. So you can already see now I actually have a sales overview dashboard. I think this looks fine. We have customer city, full name, product name. Now I remember that I want these to be by top 10, so it's a little bit up to you if you want to do it. It's not the most important step, but we can do it. I can show you guys. You will go to full name, and then on the filters you will go to top N, and you're gonna type top 10. Then you have to say what am I gonna calculate the top by. So we'll go add value by sales, apply filter, and you have the top 10 salespeople. Same on this one. Product name, then we can go advanced, top N, top 10. Then we will add sales. Oh, there we are, apply filter. You know, small thing, but then you gotta remember, you gotta fix that, you gotta fix the title then. So you gotta go sales by top 10 product name. You got sales by, let's go, top 10. Actually, we can call this customers when I think about it. Customers. And then we can go customers. So it's starting to look good. What else can we do that I see right away? If you want to add some more finesse to it, you could go to colors on this one, data colors, and you can click on this icon, which gives you the formula icon, which will give you the possibility to do it gradually based on sales. So the higher sales, the gradually is going to go. And if you go, let's go from, that looks good. So you'll see it'll become kind of like a heat map with a legend on top. And then we can try this. If we apply this to the next one now, is it going to do that? I've never tried this before. So there you see, you're passing the formatting on. Much faster way to develop. So we'll call this one sales overview. Now, if I were to go, I'm not gonna make the two last pages, customer details or product details. You can grab those if you want to do this in Power BI, or you can just look at the portfolio when it's done, what I did. But I will make one of them just to show you how fast it could be, because now you can duplicate the sales overview, and you see you make the copy of the page, and then we have customer. So we'll call it customer. What did I call it? Customer details. And now all you have to do is you have to go in and just change around the different object, and you can delete what you don't want and you can keep what you want. So let's say that I want to add a table. So let's say that I want to just add a table at the bottom with the details. I've deleted those two objects. Now I can add a pivot chart or a table. I will add a customer. So let's go customer, it's the full name. So let's go customer name. Then, of course, you can search for sales. We'll drag that to the values. And then on the columns, I want this per month. So we'll add month. And we'll call that month so you can see. And we want to see which customer sells the most. So I'll sort it by the highest selling customer. Once again, then I can click one object, format paint the other one. So I get a lot of the formatting over for free if I can do this right. 1 second. Actually, I don't know how much I can actually pass on from a graph to a table. It's not that much. We can still go into the values, make them smaller. It looks a little bit nicer. And just like with the other places, I can make this, give this some color to give it some sort of indicator of what is high, what is low. So I'll do that, and it becomes a heat map, so you can recognize easily what are the high and low sales. So that is pretty much how you can go about creating a dashboard. I know this is a quick walkthrough, and at some later time I will make more detailed videos on this, but it's just to show you guys and kind of get you guys going and to start thinking about what you guys want to make yourself. The last step you want to do is to make this available for our portfolio. We need to publish this. So we're going to publish this to a workspace, and that is the Power BI service. If you use Tableau, you gotta, I believe you have to upload it to Tableau Public, the gallery there. But this is so that you can share your portfolio or your project with someone else in your portfolio. You can also use screenshots, but I think it's nice to share the actual file so you get that dynamic possibility if they want to go in and work around in it. So I'm going to go in, and I have my service here. So you'll see when I upload now, I'll have the sales report blank, which is what I just uploaded, and I have the finished sales report from before. So when I click sales report blank in my workspace in Power BI, you'll see that I have it here now. This is what I just created. And the last step you have to do is you have to go to embed report, publish to web. It'll ask you, are you sure about this? Yes, you are, because it's not any dangerous data and you want to use it on the web. Then you'll get an email. Sorry, you'll get a link. If you want to get that, you can send it on your email, but you'll get a link which you can copy. And then if we go into our browser, you will see that we now have a dashboard online which we can share in our portfolio. And as I mentioned before, I will add the file, I will add the dashboard on GitHub if you want to take a closer look so you can open it in Power BI. I will also link to the actual dashboard online if you want to click around and see what it looks like. So that was the last piece of our puzzle. We now also have the dashboard that we need for our portfolio. So we have created usage stories, we have some SQL statements, we have a dashboard. In the next video, we're going to look at how we can take all of this and put it online and make it into a data analyst portfolio. So if you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. If you want to follow the rest of the series or you want to see more videos of me, then subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next week.